You've decided you want to donate a kidney to someone. In this video, I just want to cover the initial steps of what it'll take for you to get the ball rolling, what kind of people will be in your corner helping you out. Once you decided that you're going to do this, the first thing you do is contact the nephrology department at the institution that's going to be doing the surgery. In my case, my younger sister wanted it done at the University of Florida in Gainesville. Called them up and they direct me to fill out an online application. And that application is really questions more about my aptitude. What are the reasons that I want to donate, and trying to secure that I'm not receiving any sort of benefit or reward from it. This application prompts two different calls. One is from a nurse coordinator, and this is the person who you will be in constant contact with for the next 6 months until you actually have the surgery. I know I had at least 100 phone calls with her. Lots of emails, lots of submitting documents. This person let me know constantly where we are in the process, what else is needed from me, what's going on behind the scenes with the doctors, what kind of decisions are being made, and they're there to answer any questions you might have. Second call is from a social worker who will check in with you from time to make sure you're doing okay mentally and emotionally. The reality is you've made a very scary, brave decision to do something that requires taking one of your vital organs out of your body that your body relies on in order to function properly. That can be a very taxing thing, plus all the work you're having to do. Just first making sure you have a good support system and that you're feeling comfortable, and just like the nurse coordinator, lets you know if you want to stop at any time, that'll be done. We don't need to go through with this unless you're 100% confident that this is what you want to do. So you got these two people in your corner. One thing that the social worker reminds you of is that this will affect you not only physically, emotionally, and mentally, but also financially. Some people have the idea that, oh, everything's covered, isn't it? Well, yes and no. Yes, the surgery's covered. All the testing that's done in order to get you to qualify, that's relevant to what the hospital needs to do, is covered. Post-op care is covered. There are potentially other expenses that you'll incur. There is an organization that will help you with that, which I'll talk about as the third person you want to contact. They'll give you a website that you'll fill out. You'll submit W-2s, tax documents for you and the recipient. And then you have a representative who is another person in your corner. And they'll call you and say, it looks like you're planning on donating and there's going to be some outside expenses that we're here to help you with. Keep in mind, they're there to help you with any travel, lodging, and food expenses for you and a care person who's going to be your fourth person I'll talk about that helps you recover. But that is alone what they can help you with financially. There may be additional medical tests if you want to continue on the process that you or your insurance might have to cover. In my case, I live in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area. So I'm flying to Florida for the testing, for the surgery, traveling extensively for my post-op care, and lodging for those as well. They were able to help up to $6,000. I think I needed $2,300 for all the flying and lodging and food for being my care person. They started me out giving me a debit card that I think had $1,000, maybe $1,500 on it. And then you're constantly submitting receipts and letting them know what more you need added to the debit card. You're going to be trying to figure out what things cost in terms of flight and all that stuff. They're there to work with you. And then you've got a fourth person that you need, which is the care person I just mentioned. The social worker and the nurse coordinator will tell you early on, find somebody who you really trust and rely on, who's going to be there to go to your major appointments with you, who's going to go to the hospital with you during the surgery, stay overnight a couple nights, who's going to be caring for you then, who's going to be basically living with you for a couple of weeks. And this is someone with whom you feel comfortable being intimate in the way that they're likely going to have to help you shower and take you to the bathroom and help lift you up and down from the bed or couch and feeding you for a while. You can't pick multiple people if one person can't devote their entire 2 weeks to that post-op recovery. Someone can come in and help fill in that duty, but ideally you have one person who's going to help you. So you have these four people in your corner and you're really ready to then start getting the testing done. You'll do preliminary lab work in your analysis just to make sure general physical health. If that's okay, they'll set up extensive testing for the surgery. Keep in mind, there is a lot of work, a lot of tests, a lot of needles and labs that are done that I'll discuss with you in the next video. Sometimes people have the misgiving of hearing that somebody donated a kidney and they think, oh, great, you went and had a blood mass test done. You're a blood mass, so you went and scheduled the surgery. And it's not like that at all. I had about a month and a half that I spent working on getting these 4 people together before I can even get tested. And then after the testing, there's more stuff that you'll do that I'll talk about in my next video. 6 months before we had the surgery, sort of get yourself in that mindset of this is going to be a bit of work and it could take some persistence to getting things done, but I think you'll definitely agree that it would be well worth it for you and certainly for the person who receive your gift you're going to give them. I'll talk to you next video about that testing and use of insights there. Hey, hope you've enjoyed this content, and I want to invite you to add comments below and join in on the conversation. I'd love to engage with you in that. Also, if you know anybody who is going through this process or even just thinking about it, I think you'll share with them these videos. And if you've gone through that yourself, I hope you're inspired maybe to create your own content and get out there information about what it's like. Again, I thank you and hope this has been of help to you.